When I come back, I'll explain how cargo can kill you. Great pears, stars and stripes, milk and cookies, and now Royal Purple high-performance motor oil and Royal Purple high-performance filter. Who better to design the perfect filter for Royal Purple oil than Royal Purple? The Royal Purple long-life oil filter provides superior filtration, maximizes flowability, and it has more than twice the burst strength of conventional filters. Who benefits? Another great pair, you and your vehicle. Find out more at royalpurple.com. A toolbox is designed to be a lifesaver, but unsecured in your vehicle, it can be deadly. To understand why loose cargo can become a lethal projectile during a crash, imagine cruising at the posted speed limit of 70 miles per hour. Then suddenly the car in front gets a blowout and you slam on the brakes. Your car may slow on command, but loose objects are hurled against your seats at the going speed of 70 miles per hour. Golf clubs may cause more pain than a double bogey. And since car makers aren't required to test their seat backs against the force of an accident, you're the heavy in ensuring objects are tied down or stored in a net. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Brought to you by Royal Purple Synthetic Oil, the performance oil that outperforms. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. White. Pure perfection. Well, you can retire that idea. When I come back, I'll color your world where the rubber meets the road. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Myth is that ethanol production dramatically increases food prices. Fact is that experts from the USDA, World Bank, academia, and independent consultants all note that a complex range of factors influence food prices, including supply chain costs, weather, and oil prices. I'm Bobby Likis with 20 facts about ethanol, brought to you by the Renewable Fuels Association. Ebony and ivory, Paul McCartney crooned about. What else? Tires. Believe it or not, the first car tires were white. But in 1864, a manufacturer aiming to distinguish his lackluster tires commissioned Joseph Binney, founder of the Peekskill Chemical Company, to produce one in silver gray. Chemists discovered that by adding carbon black to the rubber, they not only concocted a unique, darker tire, but also fashioned one that lasted 5 times longer than its pale counterpart. But the splash of color didn't fade there. Benny's company later exploded into the Skittles rainbow known as Benny and Smith, makers of Crayola crayons. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with another Car Clinic Minute. Reading, writing, and arithmetic are the 3 R's of education. So when I come back after the break, I'll waive your tuition and school you in the 3 R's of buying a vehicle. Ordinary, extraordinary, ultimate. Now you can get the ultimate in performance and protection with the ultimate oil change. Royal Purple high-performance motor oil with a Royal Purple high-performance filter. Royal Purple engineered a long-life filter that provides superior filtration, maximizes flowability, and has more than twice the burst strength of conventional filters. So take it to the limit. Royal Purple high-performance motor oil and filter. Find a retailer near you at royalpurple.com. A diploma on your wall is treasured, but you could be rewarded in the wallet by considering the reading, writing, and arithmetic of car buying. Reading. In other words, research. Check the internet for specific features on different models and decide which makes the top grade before you set foot on the lot. Writing. Let's make that riding. Take a test drive and get a feel for the vehicle. If there's something you sort of don't like during the test drive, you really won't like it in everyday driving. And finally, do the arithmetic. Add together the total cost of vehicle ownership, including insurance, gas, maintenance, and monthly payments. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Brought to you by Royal Purple Synthetic Oil, the performance oil that outperforms. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. Cars can be as mystifying as the Dead Sea Scrolls, but a little ingenuity can decode the hieroglyphics. When I come back, we'll walk like an Egyptian and talk about torque. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Myth is that ethanol production dramatically increases food prices. Fact is that experts from the USDA, World Bank, academia, and independent consultants all note that a complex range of factors influence food prices, including supply chain costs, weather, and oil prices. I'm Bobby Likis with 20 facts about ethanol, brought to you by the Renewable Fuels Association. Ancient Egyptians used slaves to build pyramids, but we'll use them to illustrate torque, the force that pushes your car. When a driver presses the gas pedal, the engine propels the car a certain distance per engine revolution. That's torque. It's measured in feet per pound, and just like slaves muscling stones, the more torque pushing a car, the farther and easier it moves. For that intense seat-of-the-pants sensation, check out the torque-to-vehicle weight ratio before buying your next chariot. car. And tune in tomorrow for a trip to Bonnie, Scotland, when we'll pony up the definition of horsepower. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Hi, I'm Bobby Likis with today's Car Clinic Minute. Not sleet, nor hail, nor darkest night can keep postmen from their rounds. And now you can add the high price of gasoline to the list. I'll tell you why mail carriers are humming when we come back. Have you noticed how some spray lubes have to be reapplied and reapplied and well, you get the idea. But Royal Purple's Max Film lives up to its name. With Max Film, you get lubrication that lasts. Max Film penetrates deeply and cleans parts. Then Max Film leaves an ultra-tough lubricating film for ultra-smooth operation. Go to protectparts.com for more information today. 3 cheers for the U.S. Postal Service. They'll really be whistling a happy tune come September. That's when they'll trade in their gasoline-driven trucks for GM's fuel cell minivans, according to a 2-year agreement that'll launch the first commercial application of fuel cell vehicles in the U.S. Conveniently, Pioneer postal fleets in Washington, D.C. will fill up at select Shell stations, which will be pumping not gasoline, but hydrogen, the power of choice. Fuel cells, innovative, economical, and environmentally sound. Hip, hip, hooray! I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Brought to you by Royal Purple Synthetic Oil, the performance oil that outperforms.
In a movie, you have one chance to make something happen and to happen right. Bring it bigger, better than it's been seen before. I've been a working stuntman for 25 years now. Definitely not about glory or showing off. It's about making the impossible possible. I'm third generation in the business. Started with my grandfather, then my dad got involved in it. I've been in 115 movies. Period movies are awesome. Last of the Mohicans was a great adventure with my family, with my dad and brothers. There's those crazy-ass blockbusters that everybody loves to be on, where it's just over the top, to the moon, you know, bigger than life. Funnest movies, for sure, would be Waterworld. 50 of my best stunt buddies in Hawaii, wrecking stuff every day on the water. Obviously, car work is the ultimate. The whole goal with Need for Speed was to go as fast as we can. On the movie set, there's generally probably 150 to 200 people that are your working crew. You got to manage where everybody's at all times. Making sure we have communications dialed in between our assistant director, our players, our stunt personnel that are working around.
Hey, what do we need to do to extend this to
On Need for Speed, there was a huge car crash that we were going to do that was, kind of a turning point in the movie. Something that, you need to be going 200 miles an hour to do for real. Our director wanted to, obviously he wanted everything to be done practical, but he felt that the look of this particular wreck that he could do might have to happen in a CG environment. Came up with an idea of pushing the vehicle sideways, profile, and hitting these huge pipe ramps. We can do this for real. He kind of said, really? All right, well, show me. I then, as the coordinator, said, okay, let's do this. I know we can do it. I know it's totally possible. Your raw skill is going to get you through it, but at a certain point, you're going to need that extra moment of practice to pull you through it consistently.
Okay, let's go ahead and start pulling this back, please.
All right, Troy, here we go. I'm going to start pushing.
So you set?
Yeah, action, Troy.
I had all the confidence in the world. The director had all the confidence in the world, and we came in and we nailed it, and it was awesome. Lance Gilbert, stunt coordinator, action designer.
Countdown to 1 minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 30-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 10-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. If you have a car question for Bobby, call now at 1-800-264-5454, toll-free from anywhere in America. And now, here's your host, Bobby Likis.
And thank you, Marty. Another number for you to call, too, that works is 888 Car Clinic. We have those two numbers, but 888-227-2546 is the number to call. And I see that Mike is already dialed in from Kansas. Folks, I would advise you to get in early on today's show. Have a lot of great information for you. I'll just go over a couple of three things. An update on the global connected Stephen Cross from GM that was with us a couple of weeks ago. GM is now offering a free trial for the 4G Wi-Fi on the 2015 models. Also, it seems that Jeffrey Gundlach is advising billionaire Elon Musk to get out of the Tesla car business. A little more on that as well. And Google's finally made its driverless car available to the media. I would love to ride in the driverless car. In fact, a media person did sit in the back seat while two engineers sat in the front. A little more on that as well. Okay, 888 Car Clinic. This segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic is brought to you in part by Power Frame Grid Technology. Power Frame grids are up to 66% more durable and more corrosion resistant than other grid designs. Look for the Power Frame logo on the outside of your next battery. It means true strength on the inside. Learn more at powerframe.com. Also, we come to you courtesy of CRC Industries. Reclaim your power with CRC One Tank Power Renew. Real test, real data, and real results, folks. Back with your calls. 888 Car Clinic after the top of the break. I'm Bobby Likis with today's Engine Care Spotlight, brought to you by CRC Industries. GDI, or gasoline direct injection, common on many late model vehicles, sprays fuel directly into the combustion chamber for increased fuel economy and power. But GDI can cause carbon buildup when oil seeps past intake valve guide seals, then sticks, burns, and forms heavy carbon deposits that restrict airflow, affect vehicle performance, and cause drivability problems. Problem is, the backs of carbon valves are inaccessible by poor in-tank fuel additives. But now, CRC has the solution. CRC Intake Valve Cleaner is proven to remove carbon buildup from valve backs. Just spray through the air intake system to dissolve baked-on deposits for improved MPG, increased power, and smoother idle. CRC Intake Valve Cleaner works on GDI and port fuel injection, that's PFI, engines too, and is available from AutoZone and Napa Auto Parts stores. Find more at crcintakevalvecleaner.com.
Never pay for gas again if you're the grand prize winner of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Gas for Life sweepstakes. Plus, 20 daily winners will win free gas for a year. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up a game card, jump online, enter your PIN, and play to win. Visit O'ReillySweeps.com for details. No purchase necessary. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
How can you improve battery performance? Make sure your next battery has Power Frame Grid Technology, a more advanced kind of positive grid technology that's designed to combat the common causes of premature battery failure. Power Frame Grid Technology is formed from a single sheet of precisely rolled and stamped metal. This patented manufacturing process makes the battery more resistant to corrosion. Look for the Power Frame logo on the outside of your next battery. It means true strength on the inside. Visit powerframe.com to find a retailer near you.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
It straddles the line between timeless classic and modern luxury.
The grape tomato.
The ruby red in a sea of greens. The muse behind the great chef, Boyardee.
Beefaroni. Mi amore.
Oh, tomato. Are you fruit? Are you vegetable?
What is my
Where's our sub?
Oh, Samantha. I've already given my sub to Sally.
What? Sally? Hey, Samantha. How could you?
I got a phone call. Todd.
Men.
This is Todd.
Get your own steak and bacon melt with mountains of juicy steak and melty cheese. Subway steak. Subway. Eat fresh.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And I welcome everyone to today's broadcast at Globalcast, the AM and FM stations that carry Bobby Likis Car Clinic across the nation. If you're tuned in, we are live from 10 till noon each Saturday. We also broadcast this program on Globalcast on Watch Bobby Live, and today's a special day. I hope that we're coming to you as clear as can be. We are broadcasting in full HD. Producer Tony Gregory has worked diligently over the last 2 weeks with the Google and the YouTube folks, and so I'll wave to the camera now. You can go to watchbobbylive.com, and if you're there right now, I would hope that you're seeing a very full HD clear picture. And as we go forward with Car Clinic broadcast, what we're going to do, and I want to show you some, for lack of a better description, widgets. So if you ever want to see what a little a bad ignition switch versus a good ignition switch, or maybe a worn out rotor for a brake. And I know you don't really care about those sort of things until you have to buy one, and then it makes a difference. So that's what I'm here for, to answer your questions and to help you and give you and share with you my experience over the years of operating an automotive service shop for 43 years and hosting Bobby Likis Car Clinic for 23 years. I think we just about got it right, but that's up to you. So we're going to take your calls. We'll put Mike, who is first up, and then we'll take your calls, and Jan will take your call, put you in the queue, and I'll put you on the air at 888 Car Clinic. That's 888-227-2546. And then I'm going to tell you, after I talk with Mike, about a gentleman who says that Elon Musk should ditch car making. Really? Mike, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Thank you for your show. Question for you.
Sure.
I have a 2007 LS 460
Right.
Lexus. I've got two options from the dealer. The driver's side door, the lock mechanism failed,
Right.
and it has the automatic closers in it. Their first option is rip the panel off on the inside of the car. That's the $2,400 option. Or B, they want to cut through the skin of the outside of the door, replace the skin, and paint it for only $2,100. Any other thoughts?
So what you're telling me, the door, you cannot open the door?
Cannot open the door.
Wow. You know, I've often wondered how that would be, and I've actually in my years of experience seen. Thought I'd seen everything, and I have seen that. It's been years ago that a car we couldn't get the door unlocked, but we went down through the window. You know what I believe, Mike, and what I would suggest. The first thing that I would suggest would be to look down. The window will go down, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I would talk to a body shop, a local body shop. Where do you live? You're in Kansas there, right?
Yeah, they sent it to their body shop, and they cannot get into it.
Well, did they break the glass so they could have more room to get down to that latch?
No.
Then before I would do damage to the exterior of the car, you can replace the panel, although that's expensive. I just don't think that I would cut a hole in the exterior panel. I could never do that. I would rip the interior out, because you can replace the interior and it would be a new part. But the first thing that I would do is break that glass and get that glass out of the way. And I don't know whatever a glass costs, but at least that's something that you can buy as a one entity and replace. So that's what I would talk with the manager of the body shop, maybe get a second opinion from a local shop. And I don't know that breaking the glass would give you more access. Well, I do know it would. It'd have to, because you can look down with the glass gone. You can look down and see that latch. What I don't know is what's causing the latch not to open. And if there's a piece of linkage that's disconnected, something like that, then by all means, it appears to me that you could get to it. But they may be right. I mean, they've looked at it, and you and I have not. So I would at least get a second opinion from a local independent body shop. And I don't know one there in Kansas, but you can ask your friends and if they know someone that maybe specializes in Lexus cars. That's what I would advise you. That's a really strange predicament to be in.
It is. Well, okay. I just thought maybe there might be an easy fix that you might know of.
Well, no, but given my experience and personality, I would break the glass and I would do everything that I could to go in without destroying the exterior and or the interior. The heck with the glass, man. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I would at least try it, with the understanding that nothing, no harm, no foul. You lose a glass, you lose a glass. Anyway, once you get on the other side, call me and let me know what you did, because if anyone else has ever had this problem, and folks, those of you who are tuned in, Mike is from Kansas. He's got an 07 Lexus LS 460 and needs help getting a door open. Hey, thanks for your call, and right. The best of luck to you, man. Yeah, bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I want to remind everyone as we go forward that it's a race month celebration, and you'll get $50 off. There's a promo code, RACE50, and that's RACE and the number 50. If you order anything that's up to $299 or more at Escort. And I share this with you because May month racing events, the Indy 500, the Coca-Cola 600, and Dale Jarrett Driving School. One lucky winner will be drawn to attend a May 25th. This is coming up now, and actually this ends, this being the chance to win these tickets, ends this Tuesday, which is the 17th. I'll tell you a little more about that a little bit later, but just to let you know that you may win a Dale Jarrett Driving School that allows you to go, around the NASCAR lap 8 times. I mean, you're driving the car. You run 150, 160 miles an hour. If you're up for that and you'd like a chance to win, you certainly can do that. You visit escortradar.com or call 800-433-3487, and I'll repeat that for you if you want to know a little bit later on. But in the meantime, let's go to Gene in Florida. Gene, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Hi, Bobby. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome, sir.
We had an 02 Chrysler Sebring convertible. Was getting mileage on it, so we traded it off. Now, on that vehicle, I would religiously get 27 miles to the gallon.
Okay.
We got an 07, and I put a K&N filter on it. I changed the oil to a 520. I put fuel injection cleaner in it. The best I can get out of that thing is 22 miles per gallon. Got any suggestions?
Well, tire pressure, you've done all that, right?
Yeah, they got brand new tires on it, Michelin's. And
you know what? Now let me ask a question. This particular car is an 06 Sebring, right?
Correct.
And historically, you've gotten X 26, and now you're getting 22. Is that correct?
No.
No.
The vehicle we had prior to this.
Oh, okay. I thought so. I thought you said that. All right. So this car, what's the best you've ever gotten with this car?
22. That's after putting a K&N filter on it. I saw no, major improvement. I changed the oil to 520 because it was a used car, of course, when I bought it.
I hear you.
I didn't know what they had in it. It had 60,000 miles on it.
Does the check engine light ever come on, Gene?
No.
Well, here's, MPG is all about driving and those sorts of things, and you drove the other car and you got 26, and this car gets 22. 27, and that's a long way off. The first thing that I would check, and you'll have to find an ASE certified master technician to really do this for you, but that's easy to do. So let me you got a pen? Write this down.
Yes, sir.
All right, asashop.org. And that's the Automotive Service Association. That's going to find you a shop that is ASE certified. All right, that's asashop.org. You go to that site and you find a shop, and you'll find 3, 4, half a dozen shops within 5 or 15 or 20 mile radius. You call those shops until you talk with an owner or a service manager who understands. And here's the second buzzword for you: fuel trim.
Fuel
Fuel trim. It's like, it's a medical term. It's really way cool. It's a medical term like blood pressure or beats per, heart rate or a calorie count or blood cell count or what have you. And what it has to do with the computer's control of the air-fuel mixture, not only now, but yesterday and the day before in history. So what your car is doing, and this is what's really so wild about this, a lot of people don't know this, but their car is tracking the air-fuel ratio, and so that even if the check engine light is not on, you could have a problem, and the computer would catch that if a technician were to extract that information, and it's called fuel trim. And fuel trim will give you a data report of the air-fuel ratio, and if it's been too rich over a period of 100 miles or 500 miles or 1,000 miles, the computer will know that, and the technician will be able to extract that from the computer. That's what I recommend for you.
And then what would be the fix if...
Well, you got to get the information. You got to get the information first. Do that first. Get a report first on fuel trim. It should not be over 3%. There's your word, 3%. Ron Jividen. Hey, folks, this is going to be really cool. You're going to hear more about Escort when I come back. I'm Bobby Likis with today's Drive Smarter tip, brought to you by Escort, the world's best radar and laser detectors. Seasoned criminals, bad weather, and ants at an autumn picnic. All threats we'd rather avoid, but these pale in comparison to the number one menace of Americans aged 6 to 33, car crashes. Because crashes are predicted to involve 42,000 in the U.S. this year, an en route accident may be the biggest menace between you and the apple picking contest. To avoid becoming a victim of this threat, with rates higher than crime and cost over $230 billion, watch your speed. Make it clear that everyone who's riding will buckle up and that no one who's intoxicated will drive. You can't do much about a rained-out picnic. It'd be a crime to let a preventable crash keep you from the next one. This Drive Smarter tip is brought to you by Escort. Don't just drive, drive smarter. Escort. To choose the best radar or laser detector for you, drive to escortradar.com.
O'Reilly.
At O'Reilly Auto Parts, you'll not only get better parts at better prices, you'll also get highly trained, friendly, and knowledgeable parts professionals. From replacement parts to tools and accessories, O'Reilly Auto Parts is dedicated to helping you get the parts you need at everyday low prices and with the great service you deserve. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices, every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ordinary, extraordinary, ultimate. Now you can get the ultimate in performance and protection with the ultimate oil change. Royal Purple High Performance Motor Oil with a Royal Purple High Performance Filter. Royal Purple engineered a long life filter that provides superior filtration, maximizes flowability, and has more than twice the burst strength of conventional filters. So take it to the limit. Royal Purple High Performance Motor Oil and Filter. Find a retailer near you at royalpurple.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
When we play a game together, I probably won't say,
"Thanks for making me the focus of all your attention and energy."
I'll just give you a hug when I get a triple word score in Scrabble.
Or do a little dance as I make my first million in the game of life.
And I may not say, "Hey, this means a lot to me."
I may not say it, but you'll know.
Parker Brothers and Milton Bradley invite you to plan a family game night for your family tonight. Everybody who plays wins.
Mom, Dad, thanks for playing.
We'll be back with more music, but first a look at weather. Here's meteorologist Tom Sparks.
Thanks, Chad. There's a front moving in from the south, which is going to mix with warm air, giving us the distinct possibility for showers over the next few days. In fact, some of them are going to be big soakers, let me tell you. However, if you're planning any outdoor activities for the weekend, I have good news.
So it's going to be clear?
No, I just saved a bunch of money on car insurance by switching to Geico.
See what you could save. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Jan will take your calls at 888-227-2546. Put you in the queue, and I will put you on the air. We have Ron Jivina, Marketing Director for Escort Radar. And folks, you've heard me talk about Escort. You know that I have the Escort Passport Max, which is fantastic. What you may not know is this is a special time of the year for Escort and for you too. There's an open house going on at Escort, and Ron's going to tell us all about that. Ron, welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. What's going on?
Hey, Bobby, thanks very much. Always great to chat with you and be in front of your audience, especially those who really enjoy driving as a sport, as spectators, as participants, all the way from inside the car, outside the car, and everything in between. Hey, you know, race month is our promotion, and if you think of May, frequently a lot of the folks in your audience and many of our consumers think of the Indianapolis 500, the Coca-Cola 600, the Dell Jarrett Racing Adventure, where you actually get in a NASCAR-style car and do the laps around the track.
Absolutely.
We're putting all three of those together in drawings for our customers and anyone that wants to call, anybody that wants to go to the website. The details are on escortradar.com. Stop by, give us a ring, come and visit the Escort store, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But in general, throughout the whole month, all the way through the 20th, and then one of the other drawings will be on the 21st. But up until the 20th, you can be entered for your chance to win a pair of seats at both of those major events. The Indianapolis 500, we've got 2 seats for some lucky winner, and 2 seats at the Coca-Cola 600. Both of those events, it's my understanding, are on May 25th, and I think those are always on the same day. Is that correct?
Yes, they are. In fact, the Indy 500 I have attended. Have you been to the Indy 5 or the Coca-Cola 600?
I have not been to either race, but I have been to the 500 track during the time trials. As you know, over here in Westchester, we're only about 95 miles from the track. But I've not been to the race. I've been to the time trials, which is pretty incredible.
Ron, the Indy 500 is really great. In fact, you can go there, you can go to the infield, and depending on where you are, really get a feel for the buzz within the infield. It's a whole different atmosphere from sitting in the stands. I've done both. Run through, what do we do?
It's very simple. Give us a call, visit the website, either way. And this, for all of our contests, you do not need to make a purchase to be entered. But if you go to the website, you'll get the details. And I believe the pain there is to simply give us your name, your address, and your email address, and now you're going to be entered into the contest. So it's real simple. Now, of course, anyone who is listening, anyone who visits the website or gives us a call and makes a purchase, you're going to automatically be entered into both of those contests, as well as the single ticket seat for the Dell Jarrett Racing Adventure, which is where you get in the NASCAR-type car. They're going to teach you how to do this, but you'll go to the Kentucky Motor Speedway, and you're going to get 8 laps around the track. And it's my understanding they let you open up that car. You can hit 165, maybe, plus 170 miles per hour in that vehicle. Pretty interesting. But back to the Indy 500, you're talking about that in just the time trial. And that is spectacular. That is phenomenal. It can't be described. And I was told that the race, being there in person, 10 times, order of magnitude greater than actually being there for the time trials. And the time trials were pretty impressive. It was amazing. Can't be contained. I don't know how you describe it. If folks come to the website or if folks give us a phone call, we'll certainly sign you up. The website's pretty much explanatory. It's very easy. But once you're entered, on May 20th, we will do the drawing for the 2 races. That is the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600. We have a pair of seats for both of those. But one of those are actually in the pit.
And the website is escortradar.com.
Escortradar.com.
And the number?
800-433-3487.
800-433-3487.
The contest is to help underscore the fact that the driving audience, we would encourage them, as you have talked about our products frequently, we would encourage them to take advantage of not only the chance to be entered in the contest, but along with the contest, we've got some great promotional pricing. We've talked about this before, but our detectors, we own 85% of all detector patents, so the technologies lie with our products. And we've got some neat things. They're all on the website. There's somebody standing by that wants to chat with you. And so in conjunction with these contests, We do have, in fact, some great promotional pricing events. And can I talk about the in-store event that's going to happen today?
Absolutely.
So Saturday. So Eastern Time from 10 to 2, we will be doing a house event. And the same thing. If you do the walk-in, you don't have to buy anything, but you're going to be entered into all three of those contests. That would be for the Indy 500, the Coca-Cola 600, and the Dell Jarrett Driving Adventure. But at the same time, we have some promotions. And in fact, if you visit the store, if you visit the Escort store, we're going to give you an added bonus promotion. But you got to be here in person for that to take place. We're located right off of Interstate 75, exit 19, the Westchester Road exit. We're less than 2.5 miles from the exit. Real easy to find us. We actually are going to have a motorsports Tune-In Concepts will be here with one of their, I think they have a NASCAR-style car that they're bringing as well. We're going to have music. Folks are going to be hanging out. Just a real good time from 10 until 2.
10 till 2, and that's today, Saturday, right?
That is today, Saturday. It's taking place today. So we're just excited about all of this combined, and we just want to share that with everybody that's listening to your show.
I do want to recap just one thing. Folks can go to escortradar.com. It's a short mention here because today's the 17th. This opportunity ends the 20th. Is that correct?
That's correct. And the Dell Jarrett contest, that ends actually on the 21st. But if you go to the website, we have the banners moving across the top. It will open up with the race month banner. And when you just see that, you'll just click on it, and now you're going to be in real fast. If you can't stop by today, we get that people are all over the nation that listen to you. They're not going to come all the way to Westchester. Simply give us a call and mention the Escort store. We're going to make sure you're in that Dell Jarrett Adventure contest as well. Not a big deal. We'll also extend to you the Escort store promotions.
Fantastic. Ron, as always, great to talk with you, and I'm proud that folks have an opportunity here to get some tickets to the Indy 500 or the Coca-Cola 600. Either one of those races, as you said, they're both fantastic races. Then the Dell Jarrett Driving School, a friend of mine just came back from one of those type schools, and that's all he could talk about. And I will tell you, he was just thrilled with the opportunity to get to go fast. I mean, legally.
Yes, there you go. And speeds that you're not going to get on a regular road. So.
Absolutely. Again, that's escortradar.com. And the number, folks, if you like, it's 800-433-3487. 800-433-3487. Get your tickets, not the kind that you don't want, get the kinds that you do want from Escort. Ron Jividan, as always, a pleasure to have you. We'll have to get you back down in the studio soon. Thank you so much, and this is going to be a great event. Folks, you got until the 20th, so that's 3 days, so do it. Do it now. Ron, thanks so much for joining us.
Bobby, thank you so very much. Love your radio show. Thank you to your audience, and we'll talk soon.
That's a kind guy. A really neat guy, I'll tell you that. Let's go to Stanley. Stanley, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Cleaning. Thanks for holding.
No problem. Good morning. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. How about you?
Okay, I got one quick question. I'll try to keep it brief, or you can ask me all the information you need. On my 1990 Integra, the trailer arm bushings for the rear, both of them are bad. Yeah, I bought 2 new ones. I got the tool coming in on Monday. I want to replace them. I got one quick question. Is every time that you see a video show you how to drop it down, pull this tool out, pull the bushing out without tearing the whole car apart, they always mark the car either at 6 o'clock, basically, or at 9 o'clock. Put a little line in it. Why do they do that when you're putting new bushings back in it? That's the only problem. I don't understand why they're doing that.
Well, what part are you saying they mark?
On the lower control arm itself. They'll mark the old trailer arm bushing with a marker into to the trailer arm, little white line or a little white line. It's usually at 6 o'clock, on the clock, or at 9 o'clock. Then they push out the old trailer arm bushing. They wipe it clean, of course. Then they push the new one in. And I just don't understand why you got to put a mark there, because you're not putting the old bushing back in.
Well, and if I understand what you're asking, and I've replaced dozens of A-frame bushings, and a bushing in an A-frame is the same as a bushing in a trailing arm. As long as that bushing doesn't have an eccentric, and if the bushing is, you have the bushing, so are they centered, or do they have eccentrics for alignment purposes?
There's
You know what I mean?
Not really.
Okay. They got a hole. You got a bushing that's 2 inches in diameter on the outside. You got a hole in the middle and a steel tube, and you got a rubber grommet that connects the two.
Yeah, these are the regular Dorman brand.
Okay.
Yes.
And so my question to you is: the hole? I'm sure I already know the answer, but just to make sure, is the hole in the center of the bushing?
Right.
So if you looked at through the hole and looked at the bushing and you turned it at 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or 5 after 1, it would make no difference because it's round and it's circular and it has a bushing in the middle, a steel bushing that keeps it from collapsing, and it has an outer steel case that presses into the trailing arm. Correct?
Right. Then you got the 2 bolt holes that bolted. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. So there's no, you should not have a challenge. The only challenge that I think you may have would be pressing the old one out and pressing the new one in. If you've never done that before, that can be a challenge. A lot of times it's easier to just get the whole trailing arm assembly, but sometimes it's more expensive. On upper A-frames or lower A-frames, a lot of times we'll just replace the A-frame assembly because it will come with inner bushings and outer bushings, and it's so much easier because you don't have to buy that tool and you don't have to worry about damaging the trailing arm. And a lot of times the trailing arm will be stamped steel, which is like a channel, and if it's stamped steel, you could damage it. If it's aluminum, then you're in good shape because you've got a solid bar stock to push on.
This one goes in the rear of the car. You know where I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I know you do, but that's what they always show on this. There's a tool that they make. I bought the tool, so we'll find out how well it really does work.
I'll tell you. If you like, Stanley, you can send to me a link. And so that I can view what you're talking about, and next week I'll review that. When do you plan to do this work?
Monday or Tuesday of this week. The tool is basically, if you want me to spell it, I ain't trying to be funny when I spell it to you. I just can't pronounce it.
Sure.
It's called SCHLEY.
SCHLEY?
Yeah, that's the tool company.
Okay.
And it's a 65-100. The one for my Integra would take a 65-30. It takes a special. In the tool, I've seen them use it on 4 different videos on YouTube, and everything in the website for that tool company shows it.
Okay.
And they said a whole lot easier than tearing the whole car apart.
Yeah. Here's what I'll do. Put you on hold. Tony, let's put him back on hold. Stanley, I'll put you on hold, and Miss Jan will get your email address, and I'll do some investigative, and I'll help you. Folks, don't go away. I'm Bobby Likis with today's Fact or Friction. Brought to you by Royal Purple, the performance lubricants that outperform. Fact or friction? Clogged fuel injection system cause poor performance. Fact. A wonder of modern technology, fuel injectors, like tiny water pistols, squirt precise amounts of gasoline into each engine cylinder. But when injectors become restricted with debris, gas flow slows. Result? Vehicles that stutter and waste fuel. Solution? Fuel injector cleaner like Royal Purple Max Clean that penetrates the built-up residue and opens the spray passageway so full doses of fuel can enter the engine's combustion chamber. When choosing products that enhance the performance of your vehicle, consider Royal Purple Max Clean. Visit royalpurple.com for all the Royal Purple advantages. Then pick up your Royal Purple Max Clean today at Pep Boys.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
This is Tom. What's up? Sitting in his cubicle.
Actually, it's called a workstation.
Whatever. Tom is slowly dying in his workstation.
I mean, aren't we all dying, really, if you think about it?
Let's not get philosophical, Tom. Just go to careerbliss.com. Follow companies that you find. Apply to openings right online. Check salaries and read reviews. Score a career that's perfect for you.
I feel alive!
Choose happy. Careerbliss.com.
I'm your blind spot. And my job is easy. Hide big things.
You're good.
And if you named your own price on car insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Dollar for dollar, nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate agents.
And now for the bonus round. If Rome wasn't built in a day, how long did it take?
3 business days. Oh, plus 1 Saturday.
Correct. A good man is hard to find. Why?
Because he's so small.
Correct. Netflix delivers movies by mail, and now what other way?
Directly to your TV.
Correct! Netflix now delivers movies 2 ways, instantly to your TV, plus DVDs by mail. Watch as many TV episodes and movies as you want for only $9 a month. Netflix! See terms of use.
It's Practical Poly Radio. I've switched to cooking with healthier oils. So now what do I do with all these tubs of lard? Skinny jeans feeling too tight, a bit of lard on your hips and thighs, and those pants slide on like a dream. So there's no need for that lard to go to waste, but get your best heart-healthy trade-up with healthier oils, like canola, olive, or other vegetable oils, which can actually lower your chances for heart disease. Learn more at heart.org/facethefats. Canola Info is the national supporter of the American Heart Association's Face the Fats campaign.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad you tuned in. And just remember, every Saturday from 10 till noon, we're right here, Eastern Time, 10 till noon, on your favorite AM and or FM radio station. Also at Watch Bobby Live. And today is a special day for us, for our technical team. Tony's done a great job. And he's a producer of the program. And we are at Watch Bobby Live and full HD. So it's really very interesting what you can do. And so not only can you tune into your local radio station, but you can see us live on video at watchbobbylive.com. And speaking of our Car Clinic affiliates, WZUS 100.9 FM, that's Talk 101, in Decatur, Illinois, invited me on to their air this previous week. And I want to thank Chris Bullock, General Manager, and Tara Nicholson, the Program Director. Also, a special thanks to Scott Busboom and Doug Wolf. They're the dynamic duo on the Busboom and Wolf in the Morning show. Thank you, guys, for inviting me on your air to share some summer car tips. And also, I don't want to forget Anthony Pacito, Chris Hoffman, Emily Flanagan, and Jeff Griffin of Stant Corporation, the nation's leading manufacturer of automotive fuel caps, radiator caps, and thermostats. And why? Because Stant gave us 2 tickets to the Indianapolis 500. Scott and Doug awarded them to a lucky Talk 101 winner, Todd Kunzel. So congratulations to Todd, and thank you so much to Stant, and a special thanks to WZUS 100.9. That's Talk 101 in Decatur. And if you're tuned in to Talk 101, give us a call at 888-227-2546. I'm going to go to Ken in Missouri, but first I mentioned about GM, and this is a follow-on. GM is offering a free trial for embedded 4G Wi-Fi. Now, folks, this is where you buy if you're thinking about buying a new GM car, the 15 models. If you remember, we spoke to Stephen Cross, the customer communications for Global Connected with GM, about what GM is going to do to further connect drivers with cars. And so they have a 4G Wi-Fi, so you actually can be a hotspot. So if I'm driving down the highway, literally next to your car, and you're getting a 2015 GM, I can use your Wi-Fi to surf. And you say, well, that's not good. Well, it is good. It's good because the communications and what GM's doing, using the OnStar and using the 4G Wi-Fi, helps the car and the driver to do things that you're going to do anyway, except now you do not pick up your phone. It's all handled by the automobile. And I don't text while I drive. I do not do that. I make it a point. But I will tell you, I have pulled over when I was expecting information and I wanted to read it, so I will pull over. But I don't text when I drive. But I know people who do, because I get behind those people. Anyway, for the full story and for more details, you can go to facebook.com/Bobby Likis or twitter.com/Bobby Likis. That's Likis. Okay, Ken in Missouri, thank you so much for holding. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Hi, Bobby. How you doing?
Fine, sir. What can I do for you?
Great show. I want to know the proper way to break in brakes. You, on a podcast I was listening to back probably in February or March, somebody called in about brakes, and you started to say the normal way that was once done at one time was to accelerate 20, 30 miles an hour and gently apply the brakes. And then you said that that wasn't the proper way any longer, and you had talked to somebody, and then you started giving one of your grasshopper answers where you went from one thing to another back about what this fella had done and this and that, and the fact that he invented something, but he really didn't invent steel that was in it, but the same way as Ford. I think you got back to Adam and Eve, but you never said the proper way, the proper new way to break in brakes.
Okay. Well, point well taken, Ken. The procedure that we used for all of my automotive career up until 10 years ago or 5 years ago was to bed the brakes. It's called bedding the brakes. And that's where you go out and you'll run 15 to 20 miles per hour and you'll stop slowly. And you'll do this maybe 15 times. And what that does, it brings the temperature of the brake pads up to operating temperature or even beyond normal operating temperature slowly. So that helps to cook out some of the glues and some of the composites that's used in the manufacture of the brake pad. That's history. That is no longer the case. And I would ask you this question. When you buy a new car and you drive it off the showroom floor, do you even think about the brakes?
Well, nobody does.
Well, that's right. And the brakes have just been installed. And if you have a new car that has 0.6 miles, whatever it takes to go from the assembly line to the parking lot to the trailer, the haul trailer, and to the dealership, that's it. And the technician may drive the car around the block, but the brakes are never bedded on a new car. So therefore, why do you need to bed the brakes on a used car when it has new rotors and new pads? And the answer is you do not. If you install and if you machine the brake pads, rotors, using the proper methodology, and you use new pads, and one of the things that a lot of my industry, one of the parts of that service don't do is to use new slides and clips and anti-rattle hardware, brake hardware, and so that's one of the points that we could all take a lesson from. But there is no break-in procedure on brakes today. They're either right or they're not. And if the rotors are true and machined correctly and you put the new pads on, then the only reason that you road test a car before you give it to the customer is because you want to make sure there's no air in the system. You want to make sure that you as the technician didn't make a mistake, and you want to make sure there's no squeals or no noises. Other than that, you literally, it's like if you put a new set of tires on the car, you balance the tire, you torque the bolts, and you put them down. Other than alignment, there's no follow-on. You check the tire pressure once a month. Any questions?
So you don't have to do anything. Why did you do it then and you don't do it now? What's changed?
Oh, technology, parts, components, composites, glues. Years ago, you could buy the cheap brake pad, or you could buy the good one. And the main difference was the cheap brake pad was glued onto the pad itself was glued onto the backing plate, onto the slide. And the good brakes were glued as well, but they had rivets in them. So you could look at a brake pad and it had holes. You could see where it's riveted. So now they have unbelievably successful methods to that cooks and heats and generates that pad and machines that pad. And so let me just shift gears. You're talking about here we go on a rabbit, but here's something you need to know. What is the break-in procedure of a new engine today as compared to a new engine in a car 10 or 15 years ago?
None that I know of.
None that you know of. Why? Because the technology, the metallurgy. And when an engine is made by Ford, Ford EcoBoost, and they make this engine on the assembly line, they put it in the vehicle, and they don't put every engine on a dyno and crank the engine before they put it in the car. That's a given that it's going to run correctly. They put it in the engine. They put all the bolts and nuts in place. That's got all the lubricants in place, and they fire the engine on the assembly line and drive it off. And what do? You drive it off the truck, or the truck does, and then the trailer. The person who drives the car hauler. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So the point is, what has changed? Technology. And so to that end, when you buy something that's new, you expect it to work, and by and large, it does work. There are fewer complaints with new cars today than ever before. Now, you're hearing more about recalls because parts fail or don't do their job once those cars get put in place, and that's always going to happen because it's parts. It's hard parts, and hard parts fail. Anyway, any questions?
No, but I agree with you. The new cars are amazing compared to what they were.
Oh, my gosh. They don't make cars the way they used to. They make them a hell of a lot better.
You are absolutely correct.
Okay. Hey, thank you for calling, Ken, and thanks for your tuning.
Enjoy your show. Yes,
appreciate
sir,
it. Thank you very much. From Missouri, Ken, it is right on the money there. Okay, let's go to Mike. Mike, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Hey, Bobby, how you doing, buddy?
I'm fine.
Enjoy your show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, down here in the Southeast, now this doesn't apply everywhere in the country, but down in the Southeast, I just picked up some love bugs yesterday.
Okay.
And you can get a product at O'Reilly Auto Parts, one of your big sponsors, and it's called Bugs Be Gone. Bugs Be Gone will take off the acid in love bugs, and it will not strip your wax. You can use it on your headlights. You can use it on your windshield. And it just says put it on for 45 seconds, let it sit, and then hose it off, wash it off, stuff like that. Love Bug used to be, this stuff, Bugs Be Gone, used to be made by J&F Enterprises. It was so good after O'Reilly started carrying it that Seafoam bought them out. But they still use the same packaging and everything. Last year, as I was coming up from Orlando, I ran into a bunch of love bugs. And I stopped at O'Reilly's. They didn't have any Bugs Be Gone. I finally called into a place that I was going to in Florida. They had one bottle of Bugs Be Gone in the entire town. So now's the time to go out and get some Bugs Be Gone. It's the best stuff. There's other stuff available that may strip the wax a little bit, but Bugs Be Gone does not.
Yeah, you know, Mike, I have to agree with you. I have used that product before, and also I have seen people that would spray Spam or Pam rather on the front of their car. Pam on the front of their car. And that is a serious mistake to do that. The way to prep your car for a trip, and I know this because I do this. If I'm going to go on a trip on my car, the last thing that I do in preparation for that car is I make sure, and there's always a time crunch. You never have enough time to do all the things you need to do. I put a coat of wax on the front of the automobile, and that allows you to remove the bugs. You mentioned the founder of Bugs Be Gone. I don't know if you mentioned that one company had it. And I don't think that product was ever properly promoted. I don't think that people.
It wasn't.
I don't think people know.
You know what, Bobby?
Yeah.
This was up there in Montana is where it came from, and a buddy of mine had tire stores up Wisconsin, and great big grasshoppers and everything.
Right. Yes.
Well, it was really good. I drove. My third career, I drove for O'Reilly delivering auto parts. I called up these guys and I said, send me some test kits. They sent me about 50 bottles that I delivered myself to my customers, and they started demanding it, and O'Reilly's then started carrying it. Shortly after O'Reilly carried it, Seafoam bought them out.
Well, Mike, I thank you for calling in because it is the love bug season, and it's serious what the acid can do. What I did years ago before we had any chemicals or before I knew any better, the minute that we got to, say, for instance, Sebring, I would drive from here to Sebring. And in a 911, and by the time you got to Sebring, you had a lot of bugs on the front of the car. And we would go to one of those spray car washes, and use the wand and immediately rinse the car. That's the first thing we do when we hit the city is find a car wash. Now, people aren't going to do that, but that's really the easiest way to keep from having paint that's damaged for sure, or you can get some of this Bugs Be Gone. And I thank you for your call. It's good advice, and I appreciate you tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, 888-227-2546. 888, yeah, I know. I don't know where that comes from. That's easy for you to say. It's obviously not easy for me to say. Thank you. I mentioned early on about Jeffrey Gunlock, a gentleman who's advising billionaire Elon Musk to get out of the car business. So I just want to share this with you. I thought it was really... now, Gunlock is the former head of TCW. That's a $9.3 billion trust company. It's called the Trust Company of the West. He's the founder of Double Line Capital, an investment firm that now is, I understand, the Trust Company of the West is more than $100 billion. But here's what Jeffrey Gunlock says. And I don't know what makes him an expert, but he says he'd rather buy Tesla Motors Inc. shares instead of Twitter. And he sees a 30% chance that the electric vehicle maker will give speculative investors a killer return. What does Twitter create? It creates information flow, but it does not create anything else. If you're going to buy a high flyer, I'd rather own Tesla. But Musk, who is 42, and if you ever follow Elon Musk, and I admire him, you know, he's the 121st richest person in the world with an estimated net worth of $9.8 billion. He plans to add a mass market electric car in about 3 years powered by battery packs. I don't think that he's going to pay any attention to Jeffrey Gunlock and get out of the Tesla car business. And furthermore, I don't think that he's going to take his battery and become a vendor and sell to other manufacturers like General Motors and Ford and Chrysler and Mercedes. I just don't see that happening. So I would have to disagree with Mr. Investor, Jeffrey Gunlock, from a standpoint of what I know. I see that we have Stan on the air. We don't have time to get him on the air. Stan, I do apologize. And you'll just have to stay tuned for the second hour of Bobby Likis Car Clinic coming up. And I'll tell you about Google's driverless car as well. Don't miss it. Take a break, come back, see you at 6 minutes after the top of the hour. Like us, you'll love us.
This is Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Bobby Likis Car Clinic is a copyrighted presentation of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast without the express written approval of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated.
Fortune 500 companies choose Royal Purple lubricants to protect and improve the performance of their multi-million-dollar equipment. The same high-performance technology is also available for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Royal Purple enhances performance and provides superior protection for anything wrapped in metal. Royal Purple is the performance oil that outperforms. For independent tests and endorsements that document Royal Purple benefits, go to royalpurple.com. That's royalpurple.com.
I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Did you know the first flex fuel vehicle was not born in the 70s? In 1896, Henry Ford built his first automobile, the quadricycle, to run on pure ethanol. In 1908, the flex fuel Model T, designed to run on gasoline and ethanol, rolled onto American roadways. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Brought to you by the Renewable Fuels Association. EthanolRFA.org.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Well, spank my bottom and call me polyethylene. I'm recyclable. Hi, Tom Bodette for Motel 6. In the spirit of conservation, this commercial uses 100% recycled words. Yep, just like water bottles or cans of garbanzo beans. I've used all 160-odd words in this commercial before to describe Motel 6, like clean, comfortable, and lowest price of any national chain. That was a whole six-pack I just recycled there. I figure why make new words when those work just fine? So I can tell you what a great value Motel 6 always has been and still is without contributing to a verbal landfill or increasing my jargon footprint. I see it as doing our part to conserve our precious verbal resources, and that feels pretty good. Almost as good as saving money. I bet this will sound familiar too. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you. Book online at motel6.com.
In a movie, you have one chance to make something happen. And to happen right. Bring it bigger, better than it's been seen before. I've been a working stuntman for 25 years now. Definitely not about glory or showing off. It's about making the impossible possible. I'm third generation in the business. Started with my grandfather, then my dad got involved in it. I've been in 115 movies. Period movies are awesome. Last of the Mohicans was a great adventure with my family, with my dad and brothers. There's those crazy-ass blockbusters that everybody loves to be on, where it's just over the top, to the moon, you know, bigger than life. Funnest movies, for sure, would be Waterworld. 50 of my best stunt buddies in Hawaii, wrecking stuff every day on the water. Obviously, car work is the ultimate. The whole goal with Need for Speed was to go as fast as we can. On the movie set, there's generally probably 150 to 200 people that are your working crew. You got to manage where everybody's at all times. Making sure we have communications dialed in between our assistant director, our players, our stunt personnel that are working around.
What do we need to do to extend this to
On Need for Speed, there was a huge car crash that we were going to do that was, kind of a turning point in the movie. Something that, you need to be going 200 miles an hour to do for real. Our director wanted to, obviously he wanted everything to be done practical, but he felt that the look of this particular wreck that he could do might have to happen in a CG environment. Came up with an idea of pushing the vehicle sideways, profile, and hitting these huge pipe ramps. We can do this for real. He kind of said, really? All right, well, show me. I then, as the coordinator, said, okay, let's do this. I know we can do it. I know it's totally possible. Your raw skill is going to get you through it, but at a certain point, you're going to need that extra moment of practice to pull you through it consistently.
Okay, let's go ahead and start pulling this back, please. All right, Troy, here we go. I'm going to start pushing. So you set? Yeah, action, Troy.
I had all the confidence in the world. The director had it all the confidence in the world, and we came in and we nailed it. It was awesome. Lance Gilbert, stunt coordinator, action designer.
Bobby Likis Car Clinic begins at 6 minutes after the hour. Countdown to 1 minute mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 30-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Countdown to 10-second mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. If you have a car question for Bobby, call now at 1-800-264-5454, toll free from anywhere in America. And now, here's your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome to this hour of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad that you tuned in. Stick around for the next hour and ride along with me, and we'll talk cars. I'll share with you some information, specifically the Google's driverless car. I'll share with you a little more information about that. Recently, for the first time, actually, Google has made this autonomous Lexus 450h hybrid crossover available to the media. And earlier this week, news auto writer Henry Payne's Google had the opportunity to test the self-driving automobile. I'll share a little bit of information about that with you. I think it's very interesting. Why do we need driverless cars? I think that's part of the question that I and you may have. This segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. You can trust the friendly, knowledgeable parts professionals at O'Reilly Auto Parts. They know what it takes to get the job done right. Professional technicians also have counted on O'Reilly Auto Parts for years. Come see for yourself. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Also, I'll open the phones for you. Jan will take your calls at 888-227-2546. That's 888-CAR Clinic. If you got a question, there are no dumb car questions, well, except the one not asked. So when you take your car into service, you need to know a little more about your automobile. We will share with you more information when we come back from the break. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's show, Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Go to Watch Bobby live as well and call 888-CAR Clinic, and I'll be back. Stant is the nation's leading manufacturer of automotive fuel caps, radiator caps, and thermostats. Stant brings their original equipment expertise to the Stant line of quality aftermarket products. Take fuel caps. Stant offers the only aftermarket fuel cap designed and manufactured with all the safety features of OE caps. A lost motion feature gives the cap handle some freedom to turn while maintaining a seal. A breakaway groove allows the cap to remain sealed even if some of the cap has broken away. Both are safety features, helping prevent fuel leakage during a crash. Further, Stant locking fuel caps protect your vehicle from fuel theft and vandalism. Older fuel cap seals can leak over time, which allows fuel vapors to escape and can also affect gas mileage. Replacing your gas cap is an easy and inexpensive maintenance item for your vehicle. Drive to Stant.com to learn more. Stant, we work well under pressure.
Never pay for gas again if you're the grand prize winner of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Gas for Life sweepstakes. Plus, 28 daily winners will win free gas for a year. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up a game card, jump online, enter your PIN, and play to win. Visit O'ReillySweeps.com for details. No purchase necessary. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey friends, Bobby Likis here. Did you know that transmissions and differentials don't have a cooling system? That's why upgrading lubricants is critical to the performance and longevity of those hard-working parts. Royal Purple's Max Gear and Max ATF not only reduce operating temperatures, but Max Gear and Max ATF also provide maximum wear protection and free up more torque. Go to royalpurple.com for more information or to find a dealer near you. That's Royal Purple, the performance oils that outperform.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
First rule of business: hard work equals success. That's why Geico is consistently rated excellent or better in terms of financial strength. Second rule: don't steal a co-worker's egg salad, especially if it's marked the gecko. Come on, people. Geico is the third largest car insurance company in the nation. But it's not like we're kicking back now having a cup of tea. Takes a lot of sweat to become that big. Of course, geckos don't literally sweat. It's just not our thing. But I do work hard, mind you.
Home. It's the place you like to make warm and inviting. What could be more welcoming than the aroma of fresh coffee brewing? When the coffee is Starbucks, the experience only gets richer. You'll find Starbucks coffee at your grocery store so you can enjoy it at home. Its distinctive roasting style and rich, authentic taste show how seriously we pursue the art of coffee. Savor its aroma, then pour a cup and invite your senses to take flight. Starbucks coffee at your grocery store.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
Okay, let's get this show on the road. 888 Car Clinic, 888-227-2546. If you have a car question, I'll be more than happy to share information with you and to help you work through it. I'll give you buzzwords. And really, that's the number one goal that I have, is to familiarize you with your car, and maybe sometimes a little too in-depth because cars are so technical. You know, there are no black and white. Should I use synthetic oil? Well, it depends. Should I buy an aqua tire, a water tire, or should I buy an all-season, or should I buy a winter tire? It depends. It depends on how you use the car and what your needs are. And should I spend $2,000 and make my old car roadworthy, or should I bite a bigger bullet and trade it in and buy a new car altogether? And the answer is it depends. It depends on what your goals are, the condition of the rest of the car. Just because you spend $2,000 on your car with 150,000 miles on it doesn't mean that it's new. It just means that the immediate things that are broken have been replaced or repaired or resealed. So those are the things that I can help you with. And Jan will take your calls at 888 Car Clinic and put you in the queue, and I will put you on the air. That's 888-227-2546. Google's driverless car. I am enamored with the driverless car, and Google predicts that self-driving cars could eliminate 90% of the 33,000 vehicle fatalities a year while making commuting more productive and less agonizing. This is interesting, and I'll share this just briefly with you. News auto writer Henry Payne recently went on a 3-mile drive through crowded city streets in Detroit without a hitch as the driverless Lexus negotiated, get this folks, stoplights, straying city buses, crosswalks, and even the odd jaywalker. Indeed, he says the experience is familiar to anyone who has driven a new Cadillac or Mercedes with adaptive cruise control. The Google car uses similar radar technology that sets a cruise control, and then it sets the speed of the car, then it brakes or accelerates as it monitors other vehicles around it. And here's what's really neat. The Google driverless car has a laser dome, or they call it LIDAR, L-I-D-A-R. It looks like a giant whirling propeller, like a beanie on top of the Lexus. It contains, and get this, 64 lasers spinning at 10 revolutions per second, and it takes 1.5 million measurements per second. And in the trunk, a quad-core processor syncs the laser's 360-degree view with maps of the surrounding terrain to navigate a complex landscape of pedestrians, potholes, crosswalks, stoplights, and other vehicles. I find that so interesting. And then there are cameras at the beanie's base that read, and get this, the cameras read stoplights, stop signs, and other color-coded cues. And I want to credit, of course, Henry Payne, news auto writer for Google's autonomous automobile. I simply say that here's a car with eyes in the back of its head. When you think about a car driving itself, and then you think about a car that can take 1.5 million pieces of information, that's far more than we could ever imagine. So does that mean that that's going to put us out of a driving job? No. It just means that we're seeing technology rise to yet another level. This segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic is brought to you by Stant Corporation, makers of the Superstat, my favorite thermostat. You reach for the thermostat that professional installers prefer. Learn more about the Superstat and Stant's entire collection of aftermarket caps and thermostats at stant.com. How cool is that? And I want to reach out to Scottsbluff, Nebraska, KOLT 1320 AM, Nate Christopher and Matt Williams, General Manager, Program Director there at Colt, KOLT 1320 AM in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. If you're tuned in there, let us hear from you at 888-227-2546. That's 888 Car Clinic. I see that we have Wayne on the phone. Wayne, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Thanks for holding.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I've called before on my Astrovan. I got another problem with it.
Yeah, that's what used cars do. They you got to, it's amazing. If you drive the new off of an automobile, you have to put some new back on it to maintain it. What can I do for you?
Well, I have a problem where on my air conditioning vents, I have the blowers pushing air out the side ones that sort of go against the two door windows.
Okay.
But I don't have anything coming out the front. And our buddy Lonnie, remember Lonnie?
Yeah.
Down here in Daytona, he said, hey, it might be some kind of vacuum issue. And I'm wondering where I can look to see if there's a hose busted or disconnected, or is it in the dash itself, or is it in the engine compartment?
No, it's in the dash. And actually, it's going to be in the HVAC, which is the box that controls all that. And Wayne, what manufacturers do, they use actuators. And an actuator can be like a vacuum advance on an old distributor. It could be like a simple diaphragm, and the engine's vacuum pulls on the diaphragm. The diaphragm is hooked to it has an arm coming out, and it pulls a door open, a blend door. So
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it does. And here's the challenge: without having a roadmap, you can't properly test that system, and you could take the system apart, but you wouldn't know which item to test, which component to test. So the first thing you have to have, if you're going to do this yourself, is a vacuum and wiring harness diagram. And the only place that I know that's easy for you to get that would be a local service shop there in Daytona. If your friend has wiring diagrams, and by the way, it has to be specifically an 05 Astrovan, just like yours. It can't be a GM truck or a cargo van. It has to be your specific make, model, and year. And that.
Would the Safari be the same?
The only way that you or I would know that is to look in the specifications and look in the book, and the wiring diagram would say this covers Safari, and it covers Astro, and it covers yada, yada, yada. So there's no way.
And is there much to get to this area where this diaphragm would be? Do I have to pull the whole dashboard off the front?
Well, you can probably go through the underside and or lift the top pad off. It depends, and therein lies the real challenge. If you've never pulled a dash apart, you could break some stuff.
Yeah.
Because, see, like the dash cluster, I mean, some of those clusters pop out. So they have like a Senza belt. Porsche uses, and Mercedes for years, use a Senza belt. So they take a cluster and they wrap a rubber, it looks like a timing belt or a regular serpentine belt. And they wrap this rubber belt around it, and it's glued to the cluster, and it's just smaller than the opening. So you take the cluster after you connected the wires and just push it in, and literally it's rubberized and it just pops right in. Well, you don't know that.
No.
So when you so the answer to your question is, without taking it apart and having been there, done that, I wouldn't recommend that you do it. And since you have a friend that's in the automotive service, I think that's a job for him or her to take care of for you. That makes sense?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And down in Florida here, your AC, it's like, to the lifeblood.
Well,
and the season's coming.
Yeah, I've seen people forego repairing a transmission or buying a set of tires and spend $1,000 to make the AC work. It's something about human nature there, is it?
Yeah, you could sit in the driveway with the AC on. You don't have to go anywhere.
Oh, you are. You are so right.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a big car show down here. I'm going to go over to. Maybe I'll find some Astro guys.
Yeah. Okay. Where's the car show? When is the car show?
On Beach Street. It's a whole bunch of muscle cars and vintage cars.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Well, you know Beach Street. You've been down this way.
I have been down there. So what if you get out that way, maybe the event coordinator can give us a call and give us a report if you're going to be there within this hour. So you only have 40 minutes left. So hey,
yeah, and
thanks.
I think our local radio guy is there. The one that's you're on their station right now.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be well. Maybe we'll hear from him as well. Hey, Wayne, thanks for calling and good luck on your. I figure that I've saved you a lot of trouble here.
Oh no, I don't like trouble.
I know. So what I really want to say is before I let you go, I think I've saved you from you. Now that's so. There you go.
You saved me from myself.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Hey, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, WNDB 1150 AM. Our affiliate in Daytona, talking about Beach Street. Okay. I see that Jim from New York is on the line. We really don't have time to take your call, Jim. So if you would, stay there. And when I come back from this hard break, I will take your call. And folks, Jen will take your call at 888-227-2546. I am proud of where we are today. We have in the social media arena, Facebook.com/Bobby Likis, that's Likis, Twitter, Pinterest, and Tumblr. Those are 4 different social medias, and we are currently in full HD on YouTube.com/Bobby Likis. You got to video it. I'll be back. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. The corn as food versus fuel duel is emotional, not factual. Fact is that ethanol is produced from field corn for livestock, not sweet corn for humans. And ethanol production from field corn utilizes only the starch. Remaining vitamins, protein, and fiber are sold as livestock feed. I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Brought to you by the Renewable Fuels Association.
Fortune 500 companies choose Royal Purple lubricants to protect and improve the performance of their multi-million-dollar equipment. The same high-performance technology is also available for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Royal Purple enhances performance and provides superior protection for anything wrapped in metal. Royal Purple is the performance oil that outperforms. For independent tests and endorsements that document Royal Purple benefits, go to royalpurple.com. That's royalpurple.com.
This K&N Delivers a million-mile warranty feature is brought to you by K&N, the world's best air filter. A million miles. Let's see. That's to the moon and back twice, or around the world 40 times. That's a lot of road trips to you and me. But with a K&N lifetime air filter or air intake system, K&N's million-mile warranty gives you confidence that your vehicle will get you to work, to crosstown baseball games, and a lot of family vacations. Carl Judice in New Iberia, Louisiana, is living proof of K&N products' longevity and durability. Carl drove his 98 Chevy Silverado over 1 million miles with a single K&N high-flow air filter, saving an estimated $1,800 in replacement air filters. Now, that really adds up. For more ways that K&N delivers a million-mile warranty, go to knfilters.com. That's knfilters.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Live from Progressive. Flo here. Today we're talking to newlyweds.
Hi, my husband and I are combining our policies, and my mother-in-law says we can save with Progressive.
Well, with online, homeowners, and multi-car discounts, saving on car insurance is easy.
So you're saying she's right?
I'm saying get used to it.
Get great savings and more at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Mayfield Village, Ohio. Discounts not available in all states. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Every year there are over 20 million car wrecks in this country. It's not pretty. But people bang out the dents, rebuild them, and resell them to, well, maybe you, bucko. If you're buying a used car, it's a crapshoot. Get a vehicle history report from Carfax.com. They'll give you the real history on any used car. Visit CARFAX.com or ask your dealer for a Carfax report. Don't buy a used car without Carfax.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Last week, we heard from our car clinic service director, Brian O'Neill, with regard to the difference that K&N Products makes. And I want to share this with you. And then I see Jim Urenhole from New York, and I see that Terry is also on the line. The phones are ringing from WNDB, our affiliate in Daytona. We're going to go to Terry next. But first, I want to share with you this information. As I said last week, Brian O'Neill installed a K&N filter and what a difference it make. Well, this year, Car Clinic Services General Manager and Customer Care Provider Brennan Beasley replaced the old air filter in his 2004 Land Rover Discovery with a K&N filter. Now, his Discovery has 115,000 miles on it. One of the highlights for me is the ease of installation. There are no steps that are added. You just replace the K&N compared to your old filter. And what Brennan liked about it was the added throttle response and the smoothness throughout the power band when he was under wide open acceleration. He said he could feel the difference. He ran 2 full tanks of fuel with the dirty filter, and then he swapped and ran 2 full tanks of fuel with the K&N and installed, and he ran it to the gas light came on, and his MPG increase was 14 miles the first tank. Now that's in a tank of gas, and so that's a 6.5% increase. Now K&N doesn't advocate or say that their K&N filters will increase MPG, but I'm running the current test on my car, and I see an increase in my MPG. I think it's the fact that the car produces more power under a certain throttle, and it runs better. So if you keep your foot out of the throttle, you'll actually go the same distance and use less gasoline. That's an added benefit to the K&N filters. And also their million-mile warranty really, as Brennan says, gave him the peace of mind that if there ever is an issue, the filter is replaced free of charge. That from Brennan Beasley and part of my car clinic team here for K&N, and that's the difference that K&N filters make. We'll take a call now. Let's jump down south to WNDB Terry. Terry, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Hey, Bobby, just wanted to call and let your listeners know, but also the fun things that happen here in Daytona. We have a car show going on called The Art of the Automobile right now in downtown Daytona Beach. We've got over 800 cars, everything from, the Corvette Club came out. I think we got every year Corvette, including the new model, the new C7, Lamborghini, saw a Ford GT, Goldwing, Mercedes-Benz. Wow. A bunch of cars right here in downtown Daytona, and that's the fun of Daytona is when you talk about cars, we get some of the best. It's just a beautiful day here in Daytona for the Art of the Automobile car show.
Terry, you're so right. And between the 400, the race, the Coke Zero 400, that race, and then in February the Daytona 500, and then Bike Week, I think that. When it comes to automobiles and cars and the interest of the sport, Daytona Beach is almost single-handedly responsible for not only maintaining but for elevating, and of course the rising Daytona Rising with the track. That's another example of what Daytona brings to the automotive industry at large, not just racing, but the automotive industry at large. You mentioned Lamborghini and you mentioned the Goldwing. Which car is your favorite, or do you?
I think I've told you this before. When I was out at the spring turkey run, you remember that Superbird with a big wing on the back?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. That would be a dream car for me. But when you sit there and look at a Lamborghini and a Ferrari and Mercedes-Benz, and that's a tough call, Bobby. It really is.
Well, it is. I agree. The challenge is if you have a car like that, how often do you drive it? And when you drive it, how anxious are you that somebody's going to run into the back of you? So events like you're having today in Daytona Beach really provide an opportunity for folks to drive their car, and the people that are with them, other car owners, are just as cognizant of the special attention that those cars require and the care and the TLC that it really makes it all worthwhile.
Well, that's what's neat. These cars are in perfect shape. It's amazing. And there's over 800 cars out here, everything from 50s, 60s, 70s. They got Smokey Unix, number 13 sitting there in the middle of the intersection at Orange Avenue and Daytona and Palmetto. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. We've got some pictures posted at 1150 WNDB on our Twitter account, and really having a great day out here. And Bobby, thanks for letting me jump in here and plug this Art of the Automobile car show.
Well, thanks. I'll let you get back to the event there. And the official name of the event going on?
Art of the Automobile.
Art of the Automobile. That works for me. Terry, thank you so much.
Thanks, Bobby.
And that from our 1150 AM WNDB Daytona Beach. And folks, just for your information, 23 years ago, Bobby Likis Car Clinic started on 4 stations in 2 states, and one of those stations was 1150 AM WNDB. And we're still there after 23 years. Needless to say, all radio stations have gone through changes, ownership changes, and management changes, and we continue to. And I actually feel like that Daytona would be my second home, or maybe when I retire, if I ever retire. I don't think I'd go to Daytona because they'd probably want me to go on the radio there, but doesn't make any difference. If you're in that area, let us hear from you and tell us what's going on. And now let's go north from Daytona to New York. Jim, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Thanks so much for holding.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I read a news article about a month ago, and I only saw it once, and I never heard anything more about it. It said that Chrysler had donated 94 Vipers to engineering and technical schools nationwide. Most of them were concentrated in the West, and they had issued a
crush order,
like a recall to the schools. They said they had to destroy them because a lot of them were engineering prototypes and one-ofs that the factory had built, and they didn't go through federal approvals, and they all had to be destroyed within 3 weeks. Did you ever hear about that?
I did. I did, yes, and that's true. I think, and we don't really know what's driving that bus, but I believe, Jim, that the problem was that there were young students that were taking those cars out for a ride. And I will tell you, a Viper is a bear. And if you've never driven one, it's an invitation to hurt yourself or to hurt someone else. And we all have this. I'm a good driver. I'm a better driver than a friend of mine. And in the big scheme of things, the Viper doesn't care who drives it. Even professional race car drivers drive better, easier driving automobiles at 200 miles an hour than a Viper is on the street at 70 miles or 100 miles an hour. And I say, well, you shouldn't drive 70 or 100 on the street. But the bottom line is, when you have 10 cylinders, 500 horsepower, and you've got a car that weighs 3,400 pounds, and or even less when the first ones came out. So fast forward, that era passed. Those cars were put out there for a couple of reasons. One, as trainers. Two, I'm sure as promotions for Chrysler Corporation. And things changed, and I think that's one of them. And I believe, in my heart of hearts, as much as I would love to protect cars and not see them destroyed, I believe that may save somebody's life. And then I believe, from a bean counter standpoint, that may save Chrysler from being sued by someone who drove the car because they gave the cars to the school. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I figured that's what it was. Somebody couldn't resist taking it out.
Oh,
and
really?
The cars weren't approved for that, and the lawyers say,
Sure it is. Sure it is. So that's the real bottom line. You hate to think of those cars being crushed. And
I guess it's been done by now. It was a 3-week deadline when I read the story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sure that it has. Maybe I'll look into it this week and do a follow-up on it next week, Jim, because that's a great question that you ask, and I think it's very interesting. Hey, thank you so much for your call.
And thank you very much for the show.
It's my pleasure. I appreciate you.
Bye.
Now we'll go from, we're in Daytona, then that's New York. So let's go to Washington. And Jan will take your call at 888 Car Clinic, 888-227-2546. Jason from Washington, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Thank you very much. Good
welcome
morning.
Very much. Good morning.
Yeah, I got purchased a 2000 Chevy Silverado. It's got the 5.3 Z71 here about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And when I first purchased it, it's got the push-button four-wheel drive system in it.
Okay.
And when I first purchased it, used, obviously, everything worked fine. This last winter, when I was using the push button, it's the auto four-wheel drive,
Mm-hmm.
it when it engaged into the four-wheel drive, when it sensed it needed to engage, it would never engage back out of it. Now, the other day I went out and just happened to push the button and went to use it. Now when it's in that auto four-wheel drive, it grinds and clunks. 4 high and 4 low work fine, but in that auto 4, there's something not going on, not working right.
I believe, Jason, your problem is going to be of course, it has to be diagnosed, it has to be tested, but I believe that you're going to have an actuator problem. There is an actuator. Whenever you push a button, I mean, it's like magic. You push a button and really the cars, even the trucks, a 2000 Silverado, you push a button and things happen. You push a button for the heat or AC or defroster and all that air blows out either the top or the bottom or the front of the vents and you say, well, this is really cool, but when that button doesn't work, it's not the button's fault as a rule. It's whatever the button connects to. And I'll tell you what is so... It can be perplexing, but it also is a marvel, especially with today's vehicles, as technically advanced as they are. All of the components of the car on the newer cars are connected together in a loop, so that if the driver's door lock doesn't work and you replace the driver's door lock, you have to reprogram the car to introduce the new door lock to the car. Because why? Not because to make the door lock work, but to make sure that in an accident, when the seat belts close up and tighten up, and the ABS brakes and the airbag goes off, and the car comes to a stop, the doors automatically open. So the car's emergency controls, for lack of a better way to say it, know all these things, and the way that they know it is because all the components are tied together. In your case, you push a button and magic happens on your four-wheel drive. Of course, it's not happening right now, and so I think you're going to have an actuator problem. And the best advice I can give you is to find a local service shop that is familiar, and of course in Washington that shouldn't be a problem, familiar with the nature of that beast, and that's a four-wheel drive. Hey, got a hard break? Don't touch that dial. I'll be back.
Fortune 500 companies choose Royal Purple lubricants to protect and improve the performance of their multi-million-dollar equipment. The same high-performance technology is also available for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Royal Purple enhances performance and provides superior protection for anything wrapped in metal. Royal Purple is the performance oil that outperforms. For independent tests and endorsements that document Royal Purple benefits, go to royalpurple.com. That's royalpurple.com.
I'm Bobby Likis with today's Drive Smarter tip, brought to you by Escort, the world's best radar and laser detectors. For best road trip MPG, do you roll your windows down or use AC? Based on aerodynamics, a slick car with windows up offers less resistance and glides through air more easily, using less gas at highway speeds, even with the AC on. This Drive Smarter is brought to you by Escort's Passport Max, the first and only all-digital detector with HD radar performance. Don't just drive, drive smarter. Escort.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Another great place to use Visa.
They giggle and jiggle, they jump and they sing, they poke and they play with most wondrous things. And that's just the parents. At Creative Kid Stuff in Minneapolis, you'll find the most enchanting toys and games for kids of all ages. But if you want to bring home their innovative playthings, you better bring your Visa card. Because at Creative Kid Stuff, you can let your child's imagination run wild, but you can't use American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Now showing on the Star Super Pack, the Jaw Dropper. Oh. The Peep. The Howl. Oh. The Wheeze. See how you feel watching The Mummy Returns, Jurassic Park 3, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon on the Star Super Pack. Hundreds of movies, millions of emotions. Call 1-800-SUPER-PACK to get up to 12 channels for about $12.
Availability and price may vary with digital cable or satellite TV.
To my darling wife, Mary, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said I would pick you up in front of the hair salon. I'm sorry that 5 minutes after the salon closed, the worst storm in decades showed up, instead of me. I'm sorry as you were struggling to find shelter, I was unwrapping a Milky Way in the shelter of our car. I'm sorry that one bite of that chocolate, nougat, and caramel and I forgot all about the sheets of rain pelting your $250 hairdo. I'm sorry when I finally arrived, you were wandering around, temporarily blinded by the hair products that had washed into your eyes. I'm sorry your new haircut looked like the matted fur patches found on the backside of a black bear. And I'm sorry I said that out loud when you got in the car. I'm sorry you haven't let me into the bedroom in 4 days. I hope you're okay in there. I'm sorry I was eating a Milky Way. All my love, John Ellis, devoted husband and Milky Way eater.
And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to today's broadcast. A lot of fun and a lot of information for automobiles. Even if you're not interested in, and I have a lot of people that come up to me, and a lot of women that'll come up to me and say, I don't really care about cars. I don't want to know about widgets and those sorts of things. But I listen to your show, and I feel good about that because it's our industry is difficult to understand. Why? Because if you're a customer, if you're a car owner, you take your car into a service shop for what you think should be or could be a small job, and it ends up costing you too much money. Or sometimes you take it in for an oil change, and the provider makes a list a mile long, and you say, well, what are you trying to sell me? A bunch of services? And the bottom line is, what we have found in our 43 years in automotive service is that you don't sell, you just report what you find. And if you don't report what you find, you let the car owner leave, and the car owner may drive 2 blocks or 2 miles or 2 days, and a belt breaks, and you've just changed the oil in the car, and the car, well, did you see the belt was in bad shape when you were there? Would you change the oil and filter with your eyes closed? And so, it's kind of like you're darned if you do and darned if you don't. So we eliminate that from our business. And for those of you who are in the service business, it works. So don't put yourself in that position. Just simply look the car over as though the car belonged to you and that you were taking your family on a long trip. And it's really that simple. And you maintain that core quality control to where if this car belonged to me, and I would say Bobby Likis, what would I do to it? And I'm about to go on a 3,000-mile vacation, or I'm just going on a weekend to the Big Easy and back. And the bottom line is you check tire pressure, you check fluid levels, you check the windshield wiper blades and make sure that they're okay. You check the windshield washer fluid. And you say, well, that's easy. Those things should be tested. That's right. But what if there's a little oil leak, or what if one of the rear axles is seeping oil? And what if you're leaving this weekend and your car was in the shop yesterday and you're on the road today? So those are the kind of things that you need to be aware of, and you need to find and create a relationship with a local service provider, whether you live on the Gulf Coast of Florida or you're in Moses Lake, Washington, or California. I think it's important, and it's especially important if your car breaks down. It may not be important to you, but there will come a time to where it happens, and when it does, then you'll really be interested. And so I thank you for tuning in, and we have a running history. Today is a special day for us, and Jan will take your calls at 888 Car Clinic. That's 888-227-2546. It's a special day for us because we're actually increasing our technology at Watch Bobby Live. We've gone to full HD video. And so you simply go to watchbobbylive.com, which is actually our website, which is carclinicnetwork.com, and go to live, or just Google Watch Bobby Live. Period. That's Google, Watch Bobby Live, and you will come to our page, and I'll wave at the camera, and I'll tell you, it's the neatest thing to be in full HD, a full HD camera here, but also it's like watching television. I want to share this with you. We had a caller earlier in today's program from Kansas So if you're in the body shop business, or you're a technician that knows the body of automobiles, specifically, this is a Lexus LS 460, and the driver's door will not open. And the dealer has looked at it. The body shop locally there in Kansas has looked at it. It's some $2,400, but they said they'll have to cut the door skin open to get to the latch because they can't. The door won't open, or they have to go to the interior and destroy the interior panel to get that. What I recommended was to break the glass. The glass will go down, but it still gets in the way. So break the glass and use that as an access port to get to that latch. Doesn't mean that will work, but so if you know and you've had experience with specifically a Lexus, that's the challenge. And this is a gentleman that actually left us his number and contact information. So if all of you listeners out there and any of you are in the body shop business and you've had experience with a door that the actual latch mechanism will not open, the dealer has looked at this, and this is a $2,400 repair. Let us hear from you if you can help this person, because we said we would do this, and I don't know what to advise him other than to go with what the dealer suggested. But at least we'll put this out there on the broadcast. So that's again 888-227-2546. That's 888 Car Clinic. I want to update. We had another caller recently with a 2001 Cavalier, and the traction light off was illuminated. So the light that shows that the traction control works or in op was on. And so we talked, and I advised that it would be something to do with the ABS. And as it turns out, a gentleman, Jay Davidson, and thank you, Jay, sent me a note, and he said, Bobby, I have an 01 Cavalier with 300,000 miles, and I do all the work, and I've replaced, and he literally gave me a list of how many water pumps, alternators, transmissions, axles. In fact, he made the comment that today's axles are a lot less expensive than they were 10 years ago, and yes, they are, axle assemblies. And he had the same problem, and it was an O2 sensor. And I found that hard to believe that an oxygen sensor would make the traction light come on, the traction off light come on. So I did some homework, and I want to thank Jay Davidson, and I stand corrected, because indeed the reason, and here's what's interesting to me and what you might need to know, just because the traction light, it doesn't mean that there's a problem in the traction. What the problem was with the oxygen sensor is that the engine control had a problem. So the computer says, we cannot control the engine because it's out of its parameter. So what does that mean? Well, it means that in the case of a traction problem, the engine computer takes over the throttle. But the engine computer, the ECM, couldn't do that because the oxygen sensor was sending it a signal saying, I don't work. So if the computer that is in charge of the engine sees that it has a problem in its own courtyard, then outside of its courtyard, the traction control that depends on that ECM to control the engine can't depend on it until the light came on. Now, that's about as left-handed as I could think of for any automobile, but it shows you that you never know. When you have a light on, a check engine light or a traction control light, you never really know what the true answer is. And Tony and I were talking about this during the break, how to fix something, and how do you do this? Well, once you learn how, it's easy. Well, yeah, I guess that's true, Tony. I guess that's true for anything, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure changing a tire is easy if you know how to do it.
Well, yeah.
Fixing a computer is easy if you know what you're doing.
And we were talking about the gentleman that called in that had wanted to go into the dash from Daytona and was thinking about opening his dash, and then and I said, well, it probably is pretty easy, but the first one won't be easy, and you may break more than what you're trying to fix. It may cost you more than what you broke. So that's true. And what's the bottom line? Here's the bottom line, folks. When you take your car into a service shop to have let's say you have a specific problem, a transmission or a charging problem or a door lock that doesn't work, an air conditioner, you need to ask, how many of these do you? When I had arm surgery, and I asked the surgeon, how many of these have you done this week? How many have you done this year? How many rotator cuff surgeries do you perform? Well, that's the same question that you should ask your mechanic. And I use the word mechanic because that's what most people think, technicians, but is what it really is. But mechanic, how many of these do you do a week? And to that end, how many? If you drive a diesel and you take your car into a standard independent service shop, you want to make sure that they have an individual who's familiar with diesels, because that's a different breed of animal. It's a different breed. So those are the kind of things that you have to be careful of. I see that Gary is on the phone from New York. Let's take a call from Gary. He has a comment on Mike's Lexus. I can't wait to hear what Gary, welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Thanks for calling.
You're welcome. Thank you. I had a problem with a Honda Accord. Was the same problem with the door lock.
Right.
And what we did was we took a doorway wedge, to when you're trying to unlock a door.
Right.
One of those wedges, and we shoved it down between the glass and the door panel.
Right.
And then I used a borescope and stuck a borescope down in there to see what was going on, and found that the rod was bent.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea, and what I had suggested, same access point. What I had suggested to the gentleman was to break the glass, because when you look down there, the glasses are curved, so you really can't get to, nor can you really see. Now with the borescope you could, but to have access to the specific latch or pin, and so. You can always replace a glass much easier than you could. I couldn't imagine. And Gary, the dealer had said, well, we have two choices. One, we tear the interior apart, or we cut a hole in the door on the outside and replace the skin afterwards.
Yeah. Well, we were able to get this without tearing any door skin or the inner panel off.
Well, thank you for calling. If there's anyone else out there that has had a similar event, I'd be most interested in how they manage. But the borescope is I didn't think about the borescope because I think of engines, when I think of borescopes. But exactly. What a great idea. And I really appreciate it. So they were able to see that you had the link that was bent, and they managed to get a tool in there and trip it to get it open.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. Hey, thanks for your call.
You're welcome.
That is great. Well, and that's really interesting. So if you have a fix or specifically to do with a Lexus, and here's the challenge, folks, and Gary didn't see inside, but here's the challenge. The door latch of cars today has shields on it so that somebody can't just walk up and slip a tool down the glass, the door, like we did for years. We have unlatching tools. Now, there are companies that are professional companies that are licensed to gain access to automobiles. They make keys for us in our service shop. We actually use a certain company here that helps us to do things like replace key fobs and reprogram key fobs. And of course, we have reprogramming facilities here and scan tools here as well. But there are certain parts of an automobile that cannot be accessed by a standard repair shop because that access requires a license and a code before you can get into the car's management system. It's very sophisticated, it's very complicated, and maybe a little too much to talk about on air, but just for you to know. 888 Car Clinic, 888-227-2546. Gas prices, let's see what they are. $3.68, that's regular grade, dollars per gallon, and nationwide, and that includes all taxes. And let's see, the highest on the West Coast is $4.02 a gallon. That's up 8 cents over last year. In fact, with the exception of two areas, and that would be the Midwest and the Rocky Mountain, gasoline is anything from 6 cents to 18 cents, 20 cents higher than it was same time last year. Again, the national average price of gasoline, and this is the regular grade, including all taxes, is $3.66 per gallon. 888-227-2546. I see we have calls, and we'll take a call. A short time left in today's broadcast. I want to make you aware of a special oil if your car has high mileage on it. It's HMX by Royal Purple. As you know, I am an advocate, a proponent, and a promoter of Royal Purple products because I use them not only in my personal cars, but in all my service cars. In fact, almost 60%, 59.2% this past month, and averages 58+% for the last 6 years. 58% of all Car Clinic service pre-repaired customers use Royal Purple oil for their engines. But high mileage oil, HMX, is the latest, greatest formulation from Royal Purple. For more information, you can go to royalpurple.com. And to buy Royal Purple products, you can go to Napa Auto Parts, Pep Boys, O'Reilly Auto Parts, and Walmart. That's right, Walmart. Take a call from Lee in Oregon. Lee, short time left. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. How can I help you?
Yes. For the Lexus problem with the door, you may find IATN.net.
Yes, I'm familiar with IATN, yes.
Okay, they may have your answer.
Great idea. Great idea.
Kindly. Bye.
Bye. And folks, IATN contains it's a forum where some thousands, I don't know, 10,000 or more technicians post their product. You know, the real challenge is what we're trying to do is to help someone who has a door that is seized and a door lock that won't open. And Mike, and I have Mike's number. So if you know a particular way, you feel free to reach out, and you can call us and leave your word on our answering machine during the week at 888 Car Clinic, 888-227-2546. Set your watch, set your clock. Next week, 10 till noon Eastern Time, Bobby Likis Car Clinic. I'm Bobby Likis. Like us, you'll love us. Have a great weekend.
This is Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Bobby Likis Car Clinic is a copyrighted presentation of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated and may not be reproduced or rebroadcast without the express written approval of Car Clinic Productions Incorporated.
I'm Bobby Likis, calling all technicians with 20 facts about ethanol. Grueling testing of E15, or 15% ethanol blended fuel, by the Department of Energy is in a league all its own. 86 vehicles were driven more than 6 million miles. That's 12 round trips to the moon. No discernible difference was found in engine wear between test fuels in model years 2001 and later. I'm Bobby Likis with 20 facts about ethanol, brought to you by the Renewable Fuels Association.
500 companies choose Royal Purple lubricants to protect and improve the performance of their multi-million-dollar equipment. The same high-performance technology is also available for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or ATV. Royal Purple enhances performance and provides superior protection for anything wrapped in metal. Royal Purple is the performance oil that outperforms. For independent tests and endorsements that document Royal Purple benefits, go to royalpurple.com. That's royalpurple.com.
You're listening to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Driving a cab in this town can drive you nuts. It's like hurry up and wait. Last week, I'm stuck behind a bus on Broadway when that pastrami on ride catches up with me. Ooh, heartburn big time. Guy in the back seat says, "Here, take a Zantac 75. I say, "What are you, a doctor?" And he says, "Yeah."
Zantac 75 relieves heartburn anywhere, anytime.
A real gentleman, that doctor.
Zantac 75, the heartburn relief doctors trust.
Hi, Tom Bodette from Motel 6. Baby boomers ain't babies anymore. Ties as wide as your belly are out. So are bell-bottom pants. Oh, wait, bell-bottoms are back in. Well, spending more money than you have to is still definitely out. So save money, stay at Motel 6, and get with the times. And before you go making fun of your kid's haircut, you might want to check out your old yearbook. Talk about what goes around comes around. I'm Tom Bodette from Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.